Hey guys, how you doing? I'm doing okay. I just watched the news about the shootout, the altercation with a gunman against the police in Philadelphia. Now, normally it takes a while for an investigation to find out the, the why, who is at fault. And the shooter in El Paso, um, he had a manifesto. He had antisocial tendencies from school. He wanted to attack his classmates. He was a violent person to begin with. Okay, so because all this kept going on in his life, it became normal for him. Okay, when you're allowed, we get treated the way we let ourselves be treated, and that's something I've always said. You know, with the finger pointing, everybody has freedoms. Everybody is a free agent. Everybody has free will. And everybody has choices. Nobody can force you to do something. And if they do force you to do something you don't want to do, all right, well, I don't know how you can prove that. But nobody can make you do anything. So the El Paso shooter had that manifesto and had a long history of antisocial behavior and rhetoric and intentions. Dayton, he might have been. We know that from investigations, we know that the shooter at Dayton, is supportive of Antifa. So already we know that the shooter in Dayton, Ohio, has association with the far left agenda to be anti-cop, anti-Trump, anti-law and order, and they're very extremist over there, and they attack other people and so they're being told to hate other people. And this is what I said in another video about hate. Okay, that there's a difference between dislike and hate. Okay, you cannot like somebody and not hate them. And if you hate somebody, I think that's dislike in the most extreme manner. But you can not like somebody and not hate them. Okay. So there's a difference between not liking somebody and hating somebody. I didn't like President Trump, but I never hated him. And I never hated Democrats because they support Obama. I never did. I grew up with better values than that. It's what you grow up with. And if your parents instill good values to you, then no matter of coercion can make you do anything. And if you grow up with good manners, not good manners. I just said the word a minute ago. Values, principles, knowledge of right and wrong, and you grow up with, principles of respect. So I may not like somebody, but the values that I grew up with, you never hate. Never hate. I've also said that if you hate anything, there is no room for God in your heart. Not at all. And God is love. Okay? Because in the Jewish tradition, at the very center, very core of the Jewish tradition, the Jewish values basically says, what is hateful to you, do not do somebody else. So we're taught at a young age how to treat other people, because the Jewish tradition cares, and God cares, how we treat each other. And but that's from the Jewish perspective anyway. So that's basic. So what's going on in Philadelphia? Let's get back to that. Okay. Medicine. After all, medicine's not supposed to taste good because it's medicine. Okay. And I waited until the issue got resolved, and they did a little investigation to come up with a conclusion and a picture as to what happened. A complete picture of what happened. I mean, after all, when a painter is painting on a canvas, do you immediately know, even before he's finished, what he's painting? Right? When somebody is writing a book, okay, do you already know how it's going to end before he even writes the damn thing? Okay. So you cannot think that you know who's at fault. Is it the guns? Is it the NRA? Is it Trump? No, and hell no. Okay. In this case, the police were there with a narcotics warrant. Okay. So the police were issued oh, no, not that. Some police were issued that, but not these police. Okay. So a judge issued a warrant, a search warrant for narcotics. Okay. For this individual, who is now revealed to be a drug dealer. Okay. And not only is he a drug dealer, but he has a long history of violent intentions, and he was in prison for earlier crimes. Okay. And if these people are not reformed by the time they get out, they're just going to do it again and again and again and again, because for two reasons. Hold on. Yeah. I don't have to deal with that anymore today, until tonight. Okay. Okay. If somebody starts committing crimes as a teenager, and the legal system is a joke sometimes when they just give the violent criminal kid, not even 18 yet, a slap on the wrist. Don't do that again, or you'll sit in the corner. Basically. Okay. But what happens? He does it again. And again. And again. and again and again and again until it becomes normal for him. He doesn't know anything else. He doesn't know how life could be for him because he's never been exposed to it. He has been exposed at a very young age in the never-ending self-destructive cycle of violence and criminal behavior. Remember, I'm a long life student of psychology and sociology. And while sociology is more, I have more to work with, and I have more to deal with, or more to comment on and learn from than psychology. There are some cases like this where psychology, I think, is more relevant than sociology. Okay. And the childhood are very formidable years. Your childhood is very formidable years because it is during your childhood that shapes you into the person, the adult you're going to be. Okay, and if you engage in criminal and violent behavior as a child, as a teen or preteen, in those formidable years, and there is no alternative information provided, then the criminal behavior grows because your perception grows and your whole world, okay, is all you've ever known, which was violence and criminal behavior. So nobody steps in during those formidable years and say, I would like to tell you about another way of thinking. I had a girlfriend once who was a born-again Christian. And this is when she taught me about Christian doctrine and Christian teaching, which I knew nothing about. And she didn't know anything about the Jewish tradition. So basically, within this relationship, we learned from each other. I learned about Christian teaching from her. She learned about the Jewish tradition from me. Okay, and we learned from each other. Because if you're not exposed to an alternative bunch of information, then what you have is all you'll know. Okay. So, this guy, I do not know, and please do not quote me, this is a guess, okay? And I'm guessing this based on the information that we have about him, that he was a drug dealer, he had a long history selling drugs, and being in the system, being incarcerated, and then let go. And now we fast forward to today, okay? And there are two reasons. One main reason that is determined, which is he knew that the police were there because he had narcotics to sell, and he knew he was going back to prison, and so he made matters worse by shooting at the police because he did not want to go to prison again. And that was the reason he went on this rampage. Do you realize that for every criminal act you do, further and further guarantees you're going back to prison? So you are, by your actions, you are creating the very thing that you're fighting against. So the more and more you fight against it, the more and more intensive, if there is such a word, the conclusion or result. I don't know if result is the right word. Of your actions. Okay. You don't want to go back to prison. Nah, I'll tell you what. I've seen a lot of episodes of cops. Okay. And some people are pulled over for maybe minor driving infractions, like faulty equipment, like a broken taillight. Okay. And they're pulled over. And they are so scared they don't want to go to jail for this. So what do, they run to the police. And all that was going to happen, and I've heard this said many times from officers, when they finally catch them, you were not going to go to jail. We were going to write a ticket for your violation and send you on your way. But because you ran from the police, now your fear of going to jail, well, guess what? Now you will go to jail. You weren't going to go to jail, but because you reacted and ran from the police, that guaranteed you, it would result in the thing you didn't want. That wasn't going to happen anyway had you not ran from the police. Okay, so this guy shooting at officers, he did not want to go to prison. And he believed that if the police came in there with their narcotics search warrant, that he was going to go back to jail. He believed that, and he fought against it. But he didn't let the officers do what they had to do, almost like my ex-wife believing she knew how I was going to finish the sentence. She said, I know what you're going to say. Oh, really? You know more about me than I do? Okay, tell me what you think I was going to say. And she'd say it. I said, well, you're wrong. This is what I was going to say. And then she'd go, oh. I said, yeah, that's what I was going to say. But because you wouldn't let me say it, you already assumed you knew what I was going to say. So these people who are suddenly confronted by the police, whether it's a pullover on the street or search warrant, that they know they're not going to go to prison. And you know, that also comes back to something that I've often said. If you know you might go back to jail for this, wouldn't you think to yourself, well, I'll make sure I don't go, and I won't sell drugs, because I know the system, I know how it works, I know if I'm caught with this, I will go to prison. Maybe I shouldn't have it. Oh, what a revelation. Maybe I shouldn't have it. Yeah, that makes sense. If I don't have the narcotics, then I won't go back to jail. Hello, anybody home? Think, guy, think. Use your brain that God gave you. If you know having the narcotics is going to send you back to prison, and you don't want to go back to prison, then make sure you don't go back to prison. Just like with the abortion situation. If you know you're going to get pregnant, then have protection. Hello? Oh, revelation. Okay. If I don't want to get pregnant, don't play Russian roulette. If you don't want to die, don't play Russian roulette. Okay. If you don't want to get pregnant, then make sure you don't, by taking precaution. Take birth control pills. Use a condom, a diaphragm, spermicide. Whatever you need to assure you will not get pregnant. If you're afraid of getting pregnant, well, then take precautions so you won't. Just like you don't want to go back to jail, fine, but make sure you don't. And don't do what you know will put you back. Don't run from the police, because running from the police will guarantee you go back to jail, or guarantee that you do. Okay, if you don't want to go to jail, then don't run from the police. Don't attack the police. If you don't want to go to jail, then make sure you don't. Don't attack the police. Don't do anything that guarantees you not going back to jail or prison. And so what does this guy do? He makes sure he does go back. He goes into the shooting rampage because he didn't want to go back to prison. Well, then why shoot at the police then? That guarantees you. It's like, go to jail, go directly to go. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. You go directly to jail. So anytime these idiots who don't use their brain, okay, think that they're not going to go to jail by attacking the police, where do you get these ideas? Who's feeding them this crap? All this false information. That attacking the police, running from the police will guarantee you won't go to jail or prison. I mean, come on. Come on. I don't think even you believe that. Really. And I've heard it so many times on the show Cops, that by running from the police, by resisting police, by attacking police, you're making it worse, not for the police, but for yourself. Because every time you attack the police, run the police, they're going to add another charge. Okay, he didn't have that charge before. Well, guess what? He does now. He chose to run from the police. He chose to attack the police. He chose to resist arrest. So now we have a new charge. Put that on his rap sheet. He attacked the police. Now that's now a new charge on his rap sheet. He wasn't there before, but damn, it's there now, because he chose to fight the police. He chose to resist arrest. He chose to attack police. He chose to do that. Nobody made him do that. Nobody forced him to do that. He chose that on his own. I choose to attack the police, so that will guarantee my going back to jail. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's smart. That's smart. If that's smart, I got a bridge I want to sell you. Okay. Okay. Are you home in there? Hello? Anybody home? I know they had your head examined, and guess what? They didn't find anything. Okay. So, that's one part of the story. That he was attacking the police because he did not want to go back to prison. Oh yeah, that, Good thinking. Oh yeah. I'm sorry, but that's not the way it works. If you attack the police, it guarantees that you go back to prison. So you end up defeating yourself. You work against yourself when you have this kind of thinking. So that's one part of it. Now, that's what we do know. That's what we do know throughout the investigation that they conducted. Here's a theory, okay, not proven, not factual, not concluded. Okay, the following is a theory that I have. Okay, there isn't. Oh, I just realized this was here. Okay, my meds. I'm thankful for my medication, for all the health issues that I have, that this medication deals with every health condition that I have. So I take it happily. If I don't take it, I'm in trouble. Okay. Nice and cold. Okay. Now, this is a theory that I have. Democrats, liberals, and the media are all co-conspirators on anti-law enforcement. Okay, so Democrats, liberals, and the media, and that would be mainstream media. When I look at I think of Metro Media Television. The choice is Channel 5, Metro Media New York 5. Okay. You have to be in New York to remember that, and be as old as I am to remember that. Because Channel 5 WADW TV is now Fox 5 in New York. You know. And WPIX Channel 11 in New York is the CW. WOR Channel 9, I don't know who owns that. Maybe Paramount. I don't know. So anyway, they're pushing anti-cop, anti-law enforcement. The police are evil, they say. ICE patrol agents are evil. All these people are evil, they say. So we have to get rid of them, and that's what they're doing. With all this anti-cop rhetoric for the past few years, I kept saying, I could see disaster about the strike. This is not going to result good, folks. With all this anti-cop propaganda going, I said, somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody's going to get hurt. If this keeps up, somebody's going to get hurt. And somebody shot a bullet through the window of an ICE facility. And I thought to myself, I knew that. I knew that was going to happen one day. It wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when. Because they're calling they're calling them Nazi guards. I mean, it's so disgusting what they're doing, and all they're doing is protecting our country and getting rid of violent criminals and people who shouldn't be here. Trump often said, I couldn't do that job. Have you seen some of these officers? They really could stand up to the MS-13 gang members. You know, they can really defend themselves if anybody's attacked, like they try to do at the border by throwing rocks at them. Now, I really wish they had a fire hydrant over there and just shot through a water cannon at them, like they did in the 1970s and 60s. The riots, I think it was a 1965 riot in California, and the police had to cool the outrageous mob down by shooting them with a water cannon, you know. And I really wish they had that against all these illegal aliens throwing rocks at them. So these victims are evil. These victims of attack by illegal aliens are villains and evil. Yeah. 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 Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, right. Okay, and that's what they're doing by going against the police. They're against the police. They attacked New York police by throwing buckets of water on them, and they have electronics on them. Do you want that electronics to short circuit or have an electrical reaction through the water you threw on them, and thereby electrifying, and the police officer dies by electrocution by you throwing water on them? Hello, think, people. Think. Use your brain that God gave you. Would you throw a bucket of water on you if you're holding, let's say, how about, okay, let's mix water and electricity, okay, and see what happens. You idiots! You don't realize what you're doing. And you're going to attack police officers. Well, guess what's going to happen when you need them? What if they take it personally and say, you know what? You hate us so much, fine. Then the next time you need us, we will not be there. If that's the way you feel about us. But see, officers don't think that. Officers do not take it personally. Like some people I knew who took my doing my job right personally, that because I did a good job, it made them look bad. These officers don't take it personally. And when these bucket throwers need them, they will be there. They will respond. They'll be there immediately and help you. And then maybe you'll feel kind of stupid and regret the way you treated them. But you see, they don't think, because they're bombarded with all this propaganda to be against the police, against Border Patrol, you know. So when I keep hearing about this, so everybody's shouting attack, attack, attack. And I said, one of these days, somebody's going to get hurt. So while I was horrified to learn of this, there was also another part of me who said, I knew it. I knew it was going to come to this. I knew it. I knew, because of the anti-cop rhetoric on their side, that somebody was going to get hurt. It was only a matter of time. It was not if, it was when. Because they keep pushing and they keep pushing this anti-cop rhetoric. I said, somebody's going to get hurt. And sure enough, it happened in Philadelphia. Officers were hurt by somebody who may absorbed all this propaganda and began to invest it in their minds. So they said, the cops are evil, the cops are this, the cops are that. Be against the cops. I will obey, master, and I will follow your ruling, and I will follow what you say, and I will act accordingly. Thank you, master, for your information and for your control and for your dictatorship. Because you dictated my behavior. You formed my behavior. I will do what you want, master. I will do what you want. I will react accordingly. Yes, these people are evil, like you say, master. And I will make you proud of me. I hope that never happens. It started in Philadelphia, and I hope and pray it does not continue. So let's stop with the anti-people. it's really anti-people. Not anti-cop, not anti-Trump, not anti-conservative, not anti-Border Patrol. It's all it is anti-people. Because the people you attack have families, they have friends, they have children, they have parents, they have siblings, they have people who love them. And you are going to tear their families and friendships apart by your selfish acts. And when you commit these heinous acts against fellow Americans, your neighbors, you are disrupting many, many universes. In Jewish tradition, you destroy one life, you destroy an entire universe. And you respect a person's life, respect them, and do not hate them in your heart, do not attack them, and save their lives, then you will have saved an entire universe. That is in Jewish teaching and Jewish values. What is hateful to you, do not do somebody else. Do you want them to do that to you? You know what? And I said this to somebody. I asked somebody that. I said, how would you feel if somebody treated you the way you treated them? How would you feel? He thought about it, they thought about it, and said, I wouldn't care. I don't care. And I thought, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I guess that's why you do it, because you don't care. You don't care if somebody treated you the same way you treated them. So obviously that would not be hateful to you. That's why you do it. So, does it have anything to do with Trump? No. It has to do with their own values, their own belief system, in their own private little world that they created. And this shuts out any other information because they're in their own little bubble, their own little world, apart from human contact, compassion, empathy, and all they have is apathy, lack of feeling. And that's what they have. And there's also another word for it, another word that we have heard often, antisocial. Antisocial can be also used to say anti-society. And that society, the community, is mostly what Jewish teaching, Jewish values are all about. It's all about the community. And I said this in another video about that film I had, and I hope to get again, of Sonny Bono about marijuana. That a kid's claim that I have every right to do what I want with my body. And if I want to take a drug, I have every right to do that. Well, then, why don't you say that to the officer when they pull you over? Why do you say, oh, that's not my pot? No, that doesn't belong to me. Maybe it belongs to the other people in the car. But no, it's not mine. You just said you're proud to do what you're doing. And now you won't say, you know, officer, that's my pot. That's mine. And I have every right to take it. I have every right to take these drugs. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it, because I'm proud. I'm proud to take this marijuana. I'm proud to snort this cocaine. Hey, it's what I want to do. And you can't tell me different. But they don't do that. They say, oh, it's not mine. It's not mine. No. Maybe it belongs to some of these other people in the car. Other people. Thanks a lot. Yeah, and there was also another saying that, it's sort of cliche, but I think it's like crime, there's no loyalty in crime, or something along those lines. Criminals have no honor, or something like that. I can't remember the exact quote, but it's along the lines of, there's no honor between criminals. I think that was the saying. There's no honor between criminals. In other words, and I've seen this happen often in films, in movies, and everything like that. When you have a group, again, sociology now, sociology and psychology, okay, that, and I've said this also too, crime is a selfish behavior. You have to be selfish to commit a crime. I mean, you have to be. Criminal behavior is a very selfish behavior, because you will fight against authority and throw your friends under the bus, because all criminal activity is selfish. You're being selfish by committing crimes, whether it's doing drugs, whether it's armed robbery, whether it's stealing, murder, drug dealing, whatever it is. Okay, anytime you commit a crime, you are being selfish. It's selfish behavior. So while all your friends are working on this crime and you're doing this crime together, when they're confronted with the law, they will start turning on each other, saying, oh, I know something about him, officer. I know all about him. Hey, if I tell you about him, will you give me a break? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it happens often. When confronted with the law, that's why I've seen it on the cop show. It's not my drugs, officer. It's not my drugs. Okay, it's not your drugs. I'll ask you, brother. Are these drugs yours? No,